Kelly here from Spiritual Awakening Signs, coming to you today with a video on which is the best healing method to use during spiritual awakening. A very challenging topic. I spent many hours searching the internet, looking for blog posts and videos and trying to find the right answer, but we've got the answer for you here today, and it is tried and tested over years of working with clients who are going through a spiritual awakening, and of course going through my own spiritual awakening as well. So if you don't know me, I'm Kelly, and I help people like you who are going through awakening to reduce their symptoms and make the process a whole lot easier. And of course today we're going to be making a start on that with this video. So we're going to get into which healing method is really going to be right for you. What things do you actually need to cover in spiritual awakening, and what kind of things are the missing links that I see missed all the time in spiritual awakening that tend to make your symptoms much worse and can also kind of drag out the time frame that it takes you to work through the stuff, all the baggage that comes up in spiritual awakening. So we will cover that. So I can see a few people have joined us already. Please say hello, tell me who you are and where you're from, and of course if you resonate with any of this, looking for the right healing method and not knowing where to turn, you can ask your questions throughout the video as well, and let's get into it. So the most important thing that you need to know is when you are looking at any healing method, any therapy, any options that you could use to make the healing process easier in awakening, and you're looking to kind of soothe that challenge in that process, there's three really important aspects that you must cover. If you don't, you'll have to repeat it all over again with some other modality, some other therapy, some other practice, okay? So the three most important things that you need to cover when you're getting healing for spiritual awakening are healing your current life. So it has to be something that can address the stuff that's going on right now in real time, things that have happened throughout this life. It has to also be able to cover your inner child. So things that have happened in your childhood, wounds that you have from the way that you were brought up, your primary caregivers, your parents, interactions at school, with friends, all those things. And the other most important thing that most people miss during spiritual awakening is making sure that the modality you use will heal your past lives. Absolutely vitally important, because that's really mostly what it's all about. It's all that baggage from all the lifetimes that you've already lived that comes up in this lifetime again. It comes up again to be healed and to be released, because it's soul healing that we're doing. It's not about who you are now. It's a little bit about who you are now and mostly about who you are as a soul. So that's really what's going on, okay? So make sure it covers the current life, your inner child, and your past lives. Absolutely vital. So I'm going to say a few hellos before we get into more of this video. I can see quite a few people have joined us already. We've got Jackson's joined us, we've got Bonnie, we've got Nicole, we've got Tanika, and we've got Jackie as well. Hi there. We've got people from all over, which is fantastic. So I hope that this resonates, and if you have any questions about healing or moving through that aspect of awakening, please do let me know and we will answer them before the end of the video. Now, there's a missing link that you need to know about in traditional therapy. So traditional therapy, I mean things like counselling, CBT, psychology, psychotherapy, all those kind of traditional, like counselling, the kind of normal therapies that we would use, because I don't like the normal stuff. I'm not a big fan of that as much. So normal therapies, there is a missing link. The problem that you've got is kind of like what I said earlier. You're healing the soul during spiritual awakening, so you must address the soul. And quite often what you generally find is when you use traditional methods, either you can't access those parts of yourself, you can't access the past lives, or you're working with someone who you're going to say that and they're going to think that you're crazy. You can't bring it up, you can't really express what's going on, and of course that is a major block to your healing really moving forward. And that missing link is that they don't go back far enough. Now, there's a key to fast tracking your healing, and I'm going to cover that in this video, but what you need to know is that if you don't go through your history, and I mean your history as a soul, and all those past lives, and access the stuff that's happened in lifetimes before, if you don't do that, you're not going to fully heal, because there is trauma, there's belief systems, there's all this emotional upset, there's all these, there's all the devastation, there's so much that you're carrying with you in your soul, and it's going to play out again in this life. Maybe not to the same degree, but themes from that are going to start playing out in your life. And if you're using a therapy that only focuses on this current life and what's going on for you now, there's going to be loads of stuff in the tank and in the soul that doesn't get addressed. And that means that you're going to cycle round and around, because the soul just keeps bringing it up, bringing it up, bringing it up, until you can heal it and release it for good. When you heal it and release it for good, it's done. That's the wonderful thing about awakening. You're going to really be freed from all these binds, but you need to make sure that the therapy that you're working with is willing and able to go back far enough into your soul history to find out what's really there, because it's showing up. Whether you remember those things consciously or not, and you might not, that stuff's coming up right now. Very, very important. Now, like I said, there is a secret to fast tracking your healing. This is kind of a technique that we've developed and come up with, and some other therapies can do it, so I'll mention a little bit about that. But there is a fast track to soul healing that you can use that is going to save you years worth of therapy, and I can say this from experience. There is a faster way of doing it, and this faster way of doing it is called theme healing. So this is kind of like a concept that we've developed in our work, theme healing. So rather than having to heal every single tiny little experience that ever happened to you, every single separate past life, which would be really exhausting, I've tried to do it that way, it's not easy, having to go through every single experience is just too time consuming for where we need to get to in awakening. We need to ascend, we need to awaken now. We can't afford to wait any longer. We can't afford to do what it used to be like, where people would take 20 years of their life to awaken. We just can't do that. We don't have the time. And now is the time that we need to fully awaken and really fully embody our authentic selves. So what we want to do is theme healing. Theme healing, we've kind of developed this. Really what you're using, I developed this working with clients one-on-one. What you really want to do is, rather than working on one experience in one lifetime, and think of all the little traumas that are in each lifetime, it would take you a whole life to heal it. What you can do is you can work on a theme. So you can look into your life now and look at what's going on, and you can bet that that's a theme that has played out lifetime after lifetime. So for example, let's say that we're working with the broken heart. Let's say you always get your heart broken, or someone always breaks your trust. Let's just say, because there's lots of different themes can come up in life. What we would do then is, rather than go back through every single past life where your heart was broken and work with the trauma and the upset and relive it all, instead of having to work through every single event that happened, of which there could be hundreds, thousands, what we do is we work on the theme. We say, okay, we're healing the theme of brokenheartedness. And when we work on that theme, we work on the energy and the pain of it as a whole. And we send that energy out through all your past lives. So it's the same with, you'll see us when we do genetic healing. We clear the thing for you currently, and then we clear it through all your ancestors. We're using it as a theme to kind of work through the bulk of the pain and the bulk of the baggage that your soul has picked up, so that we can move forward a lot faster. And I can tell you from experience, it just absolutely, it's like taking out a file with every single lifetime and every single experience, and there's tons of them. It's a really thick file, and you can work on the whole file rather than having to go through every single paper. It just completely changes your awakening experience and the efficiency with which you're moving through all this healing stuff, because it's difficult and it's really painful. You want to move through that as fast as you can. So that's why theme healing is so important, okay? Now, if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to be covering some of these at the end. So let's get into what is the best method for healing it. You know, if we're not really using traditional therapies because it's not digging deep enough, and of course we can't talk about all the crazy stuff that comes up, and we need to make sure we have something that covers current life, inner child and past life. What can we use? Well, I've got some recommendations. I've got 2 recommendations that would be the best things that I've found, okay? The first one, well, actually, sorry, it depends on which route you want to go down, okay? So you have 2 options. Either you want to work by yourself and you want to do the healing on yourself specifically, and you want to work through this stuff separately. You can still use theme healing to a degree, okay? If you want to do it that way, you can use EFT. So EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. It's an energy healing modality, okay? And that's really what you need. It must be an energy healing modality that you use. But the great thing about it is it will, you can apply it yourself. Really easy to learn. We actually have a free 5-day course that teaches you the process of how to heal yourself with EFT. So I'll put that in the link below and you can check it out. But you're just tapping on acupressure points around the body. And what that does is it works on the end of the energy meridian points. So it unblocks energies, it calms your nervous system, and it can shift energy in the body and in the energetic system as well. So really, really effective for negative emotion, really helpful for keeping you calm during awakening, and great for you to work through memories one after another. Really fantastic method, and it's also really grounding. So it's the only method I've found in general therapy and therapeutic approaches that is safe during awakening. It won't unground you, it won't make your symptoms worse. So EFT is safe, and like I said, there's the free course below if you want to check it out. And you can try it out for yourself. Of course, we've got loads of videos on our YouTube and our Facebook page where we've done EFT tapping before, so you can check those out too for free. But one other point that I do want to note is that any of these methods that you want to use, and energy healing would always be my top recommendation, regardless of what therapy it is, regardless of all these other things that it can do, it must be an energy healing therapy because we're working on the soul. And the soul is an energy, okay? So make sure that it's always an energy healing modality that you're using. But there are a few things that it must incorporate for you to be able to actually heal, because if you don't, like I said, what's going to happen is you're going to feel that you come to the end of the road with a certain therapy and you're going to be exhausted because you've tried everything, and it's like, I've done this work, I've been working for a few years or however long it takes a long time, and you're going to feel like it was a waste of time because there's still more to do. So you really want to make sure that it incorporates a few different things. The energy healing modality must have a psychological component. Now that sounds complicated, but it must, because you have a soul. There's a psychology to the soul, and your soul has different perspectives and different feelings and all these other things. It's very much a mind in itself, so you need to respect that and the way that it thinks. So there must be a psychological component to the energy healing modality. It must also incorporate belief work. Now by that I mean the perceptions and the truths that we believe are fact that may not be true in our lives. So things like we were talking about the broken heart. So maybe you feel like I can't trust anybody. That's a belief. I can trust no one. And it stays with you lifetime after lifetime and plays out. So we need to tackle those beliefs and release them and clear them so that you become clear in this lifetime, and that stuff isn't constantly attracted to you, it isn't being drawn into your field like a point of attraction. The other thing that you need to make sure it does is that it releases trauma, because all of this is about soul trauma. That's what awakening does. It brings up the trauma from the soul on a deep soul level, and we're required to release and to heal and to comfort that so that we can really be free of it and move forward and be a completely free and healed, healthy, whole, complete soul. So you need to make sure that you can clear those belief systems and the trauma, because they're always connected. You make assumptions due to the trauma. You need to release the trauma from the system. And it must heal your energies. It must have the ability to clear your energies and unblock any energy systems, any issues that you've got in your energy system, and it must be able to do energy healing, because that's really what it's all about. It's about healing your energy and the soul. Really, really important. So like I said, I got a little bit ahead of myself, but my recommendation that covers all of those things would be EFT tapping. Very, very helpful and really easy to self-apply. So that would be the route you would go down if that's something that you want to do by yourself. If you want to be in control of the healing and you want to do it yourself, it can take a little bit longer, and you can do a little bit of the theme healing. That's definitely a route for you, and it's an all-rounder. You can use it on anything, literally. You can use it on health complaints, you can use it on headaches, you can use it on emotions, bad moods, anything that comes up, you can use it. But it's a great tool to have in spiritual awakening, and I would always advise everyone knows that going through spiritual awakening. The other thing that I would recommend is the hybrid creation that we have made is our energy healing meditations. Like I always say, they are a cross between energy healing and relaxing meditation, a guided meditation, because what you really need to make sure is that not only are things being healed and cleared, but certain things are being activated so that you're moving forward as well. You need to make sure that you're doing things that are going to move you into that more spiritual energy. So that's why we created our energy healing meditations, because it allows you to work on a theme. You'll see if you look at our library, we've got this extensive school of all different energy healing meditations for all different types of topics that you might need healing for in spiritual awakening. And really we're working on themes. So for example, we've got the heart pain healing. That's what people would use for the broken heart. And it's going to do all the things that you need it to do to bring that healing, to clear things out, to activate the heart. so that it's not just that you're healing and clearing, but you're healing and clearing and activating the things that you need to move forward to. And of course, working in a theme like that, all the themes that we do, it means that you can move through your healing journey so much more quickly, because you take a theme at a time and you let it work through the energy system, and you let it clear the things that it needs to clear, and it sifts through all the past lives under that category. It kind of does the healing that you need it to do for you. And then of course you can repeat that. You can work on it in layers a few times and let it really work deeper into the soul, rather than having to pick through every tiny little memory. You just allow it to do the work for you, and you can just relax. And the wonderful thing about it is that it is perfectly balanced for those of us going through spiritual awakening. So it will only make adjustments that are appropriate to you. Like I always say, I work with a series of really high vibrational spirit guides, and they are dedicated to helping us on the awakening pathway. So they will make all the adjustments that you need. It's specifically tailored to you. Even though it's a recording, it is specifically tailored to you, because the guides begin working with you and adjusting what you need to make it perfect for you. So these are the different options that you've got. I would say they're your two best options. It's either you want to do the healing on your own, you would rather be in control of that, and that would be the EFT route, or you can go down the energetic healing route with our energy healing meditations, where it's kind of done for you and all you need to do is relax and listen. Now, there are benefits to both, obviously, but I always want you guys to know that you've got other options. EFT is always a great option, but don't be disheartened. Even if you're not in our library and you don't have any meditations purchased, which I think most of you do, you can still get all the free ones. There's tons on our Facebook page, there's tons on our YouTube page, and they're for all different types of themes. And of course, that's the benefit. You're working on a theme, you're working collectively through the soul to just take this stuff out in bulk, rather than working through it over and over and over again, which is really exhausting. So I think that's everything that you need to know, but if you have any questions, do let me know. So I'll answer a few right now. Let's see. Bonnie says, Bonnie, actually I got your email, that I'll answer this here. She says, Kelly, which meditation of yours would be best to heal repeating patterns? Repeating patterns, I think we've got a few that will clear karmic patterns. I'm thinking of one in particular. I think it's the crystal frequency would actually be best for you, but I will comment afterwards below in the comments, and I'll let you know when I check that out. I think the crystal frequency would probably be best for you, and I want to make sure I'm giving a general answer in case anyone else has the same issue, but I think that's probably the one that would be most appropriate. But I'll take a look, and if there's anything else that might be suitable, I'll let you know in the comments below. But yeah, the repeating patterns, the more you can work with themes, the better it'll get at really clearing those things out. But what I would say is look for what the patterns are. So if it's a pattern in your love life, look for one of the meditations to do with love life. It's a pattern to do with difficulty in life, look for ones that's to do with struggles. You'll find them on there. Or of course you can always comment below and ask me, and I'll guide you on that. Hi to Simran from Malaysia. Hi there. Let's see. Jackson says, I've been healing inner child and had some breakthroughs, which is great. I feel there's something bigger to come up, but not sure if I've reached a block, or if the reason I can't recall it is because it's past life. How can I tell? How can I navigate healing if I'm not sure if a situation happened? Right, well, here's the thing. The important thing that you need to know is sometimes there's some confusion comes up, because people are like, is it this life? Is it past life? Like there's something in there, but I don't know what it is. The truth is, it actually doesn't matter where it comes from. Okay, so whether it was past life, current life, or inner child, it actually doesn't matter at all, because your soul will bring it up. So the challenge with that is that sometimes you're looking for a specific image. Sometimes you're expecting, if it's past life, a past life just to flash before your eyes and show you the answer, which doesn't happen for everyone. Everybody's a little bit different. So the truth is that whether it is or whether it isn't doesn't actually matter. What you're really looking for is what's showing up in my system. So that's what I want everyone to look for. What is showing up in my system? Is it an emotion today? Am I feeling depressed? Am I feeling angry? Am I feeling like everybody always breaks my trust? Am I feeling like nothing's ever going to get any better? Am I feeling like life is a constant struggle? What is the theme and what is the pattern? And if you can work with that, with your focus on that, it's the same thing. It's like what we're talking about, theme healing. If you can focus on the feeling that it's creating now and get the healing for it, what we can do is just work as a theme right throughout your whole soul's history, rather than having to say, is it inner child? Is it past life? It's probably all one and the same. most of the issues that we have nowadays that are coming up in spiritual awakening have originated in a past life. And this lifetime is just a case where these kind of reminders are coming up again. It's like, oh God, there's that thing again. This thing has happened again. It's all just trying to draw this stuff up. So don't worry about whether you can't tell. And what I will say is, if it's something that you need to know in awakening, it'll show you. It'll come up at the right time. But really the truth is, it doesn't matter which category it comes from. It's about how is it making you feel, what's it bringing up. Tanika, interestingly, actually says the constant breaking of trust is a repeated pattern for me. That's something you definitely want to get cleared. And when you do clear it, when you use the theme healing and you start clearing that and you work through it really quickly, your point of attraction changes. So the experience you have in your daily life and the type of interactions you have with people, the type of people you draw into your life suddenly changes, and that pattern is finally broken, because it can be really tough. Hi to Linda, she says, hope all are well and safe and well from Ireland. Lovely, hi there. And hi to Mary as well. Bonnie says, this is just wild, this is exactly what I need right now. Great. I emailed you last night about this question. Isn't it funny that these things all come around? The same two themes keep coming up in my life. It's so very obvious to me. The first one is trust and the second one is people I love with addictions. Okay, so this might be coming through because it's a theme that a lot of the people that are going to watch this video are needing. It's bizarre how that happens sometimes, but we're all tuned in. So yeah, the same themes will show up again and again, but it's about making sure that you choose a modality that is going to cover all those topics. It has to go back far enough, meaning into your soul's history, into your past lives. It has to make sure that it's going to work on belief systems. It has to release trauma, and you need to make sure that it's got that psychological component, because the psychology of your soul and the way you've perceived things in other lifetimes comes out again in other lives. Right now that stuff's playing out. So your soul has a perspective on something that's going to need to be cleared, and that's why simply energy healing on its own isn't enough. You need something that's going to break down all these things, and you'll hear that in our energy healing meditations. Sometimes we're clearing a theme and it's like, oh, this has made us think this, and we need to clear that from our life, and we clear the belief. These things come up all the time. So I think that's it for today, guys. I've got the links below that you can check the free course for EFT. That's the one where you're doing the healing for yourself. And of course, we've got the link below to our library with a whole host, every single energy healing meditation you could possibly imagine for all the different aspects of awakening. You can check that out too. And we'll make sure that you're covered for everything you need. Again, using that theme healing and working through it in bulks. Let's get through the tough bit faster and let's move on to all the great stuff. That's what we really want to do. So I'll just see a few more comments. We've got Jackson says, thanks Kelly, this really helped. The EFT also helped with the breakthroughs I've had. EFT is great. It can really help you make breakthroughs, and particularly during awakening. It really is a tool that I would recommend everyone to learn. Really simple. You'll be ready in 10 minutes, but fantastic tool to have. Let's see. John says, hi Kelly, I have 3 energy healing meditations, the Soul Star Chakra, the Space Clearing and the 5D Ascension. How should I use all of these moving forwards? Okay, you can use these in any way that you like. So the truth is, we before used to recommend that you only do 1 a day. That used to be a recommendation for most of our meditations. But now that the energies have shifted and we're actually generally globally in a higher vibration, you can use any meditations as often as you like. So if you want to do them all every single day, you can do them all every single day. Try and tune into yourself, and this is the same for everyone, whether you're using the free meditations on our Facebook page or our resources page on spiritualawakeningsigns.com/resources, or whether it's ones that you've purchased. You're always looking at, what is it I need today? What's coming up for me today? Or look at what ones that you have and just see what one you feel more drawn to, because your soul and your energy will draw you to the one that's really going to give you the most benefit. Use them in whatever order you feel that you want to, but like I said, there's no harm in using as many as you want. And of course, the one thing I do want you guys to know is you can pick and choose parts out of them. If there's something that you suddenly feel that you need and you remember, or the second half of that meditation had something in it that I wanted, or there's a little part where, you know, maybe I give you a few downloads that are helpful, just use what you need. And the thing to know as well is, and people keep telling me this, the more that they do these meditations and the deeper you do the healing, the more you actually hear parts of it that you didn't hear the first time around. The other parts stand out to you and it's like, oh, I didn't notice that before. It's because you've come to a deeper level and your soul's ready to take the next level of healing. So fantastic. So Bonnie says, I'd like to purchase your meditations for these themes. I just need to figure out which one is best for these 2 themes. Thanks so much. What I'll do, Bonnie, is if you just hold on, I'll note it below. I think what you'd be looking at is the crystal frequency and the heart pain healing, because the heart pain healing is all about heart issues, trust, brokenheartedness, heart pain, and even tragedy and things from other lifetimes, which I think would be good for you to clear, and for anyone to clear. We've got to do a lot of clearing in the heart, and the crystal frequency will clear that other stuff as well, the patterns. But I'll check it out and I will note them below in your comment so that everybody knows. And if you need anything else, guys, even if it's after the video, you want to comment and let me know something, or you've got a question, just pop it below and I will get back to you. So I hope this has been helpful, and I hope it gives you some direction in where you're going in your healing to move through the difficult parts and get into the better aspects of awakening. And I hope you can all really take care of yourselves, take it easy, keep healing, keep moving forward, and I'll see you again soon.